What is up, everybody? Golden Boy here, and I have the next installment in our Straw Hat matchup series. But before I continue, I do have a Straw Hat Nakama theory in the works, and it should come out pretty soon. I don't know though, I think I'm gonna do that during one of the break weeks or something. I'm very excited to get chapter 1037 soon as well, but all of that aside, let's get back and talk about these 1v1s. For context, I've done Sanji's 1v1 theory, which I've linked in the card above at the top right hand corner of the screen, and then last week I also did my Zoro 1v1, which is also linked above, so check those out if you're interested. But up today we have Brook, the Soul King. So, let's get into it. Born in the West Blue, and then again in the Florian Triangle, we have our musical sword-wielding skeleton Brook. And look, we all know that Chopper had an emotional backstory, but Brook is just different. He is the most tragic Straw Hat in my opinion, being trapped in the foggy darkness for 50 years. Like, that's more than twice my entire life so far. And he was abandoned in the dark on a ship with nothing but the rotting corpses of his friends. That is so metal. Now, despite the dark backstory, Brook himself is actually quite a cheery person. He dresses in bright colors as a performer. He's the Soul King. His face when he was alive looked like it had features that resemble classic rock stars like Jimi Hendrix and Ozzy Osbourne. And after he was resurrected by the power of the Yomi Yomi no Mi, Brook joined the Straw Hats in defeating Moria, as well as serving as their entertainment, and also a sort of a stealth agent. In Whole Cake Island, Brook kind of just popped off. This dude seriously just asks for panties 24/7, and then Whole Cake Island came in, and he just popped off. And then he went back to asking for panties after. But Brook took on Big Mom 1v1 to protect Sanji's honor, so I'm excited to see if he does eventually get a 1v1 here in Wano. Brook's a cool character, and you really shouldn't underestimate him at face value. Well, if he had a face. His current dream is to be reunited with his friend Laboon, the whale at Reverse Mountain, and share songs of his former crew, the Rumbar Pirates, with the now big boy. And finally, as a fun fact about Brook, I believe his likeness was inspired by one of Oda's favorite movies, The Nightmare Before Christmas. He said that was one of his favorite movies. And his namesake was maybe inspired by one of Oda's favorite musicians, Brook Benton. He was an American singer and songwriter, and he was popular with rock and roll, rhythm and blues, and pop music audiences during the late 1950s, early 1960s. But as far as One Piece Brook is concerned, I want to see an exciting battle from him. We haven't seen an exciting 1v1 with him yet, like in the story. Not really. So I hope that we can get a few good fights in. I have some fun ideas for what he could do, starting with his hockey. I want to see Blackbone's Brook. Everybody does, that epitaph would just be the hardest. Full body hockey. In Wano, I would also like to see Brook get a new sword. MD King put out a video about Straw Hat power scalings, and he was excited about giving Brook a new sword in Wano. It would be cool to have a new, like, Meito cane sword, custom made just for him. And also, by endgame, I want to see some Devil Fruit stuff as well. I want to see an awakened Devil Fruit, maybe where he would be able to possess other people's souls, or objects, or even bring back the dead. An expansion on his soul powers would be hype too, like that Soul Solid, his ice, maybe like a fire type slash. I don't really understand that, to be honest. They say it's like the underworld chill. It's just a little bit more explanation on how he is able to do that would be nice, and maybe, more of those moves. I would actually love to see all of those improvements. But that being said, I don't think his opponent's going to be like a brute. I think his opponent's going to be a very tactical fighter. So, originally, from the West Blue, his opponent, Demon Sheriff Lafitte. And Lafitte is the navigator and one of the Titanic captains of the Blackbeard crew. Originally, he was a sheriff in the West Blue, but he was exiled for his violence towards criminals, which is not too dissimilar from Shiryu and Impel Down. Lafitte is very calm, he speaks properly and with respect. These are mannerisms that he shares with Brook. As an original member of the Blackbeard Pirates, Lafitte was seen sprouting angelic wings and hypnotizing marines, which brings speculation to his Devil Fruit ability. He's a skilled stealth master, and he seems to hold his own just using a cane. And I would love for that cane to be a sword, too, just like Brook's. His current motives are unknown, but he is very loyal to Blackbeard, so one can only assume that his motivation is to make Teach the Pirate King. And finally, real-life pirate trivia fact: Lafitte was more than likely inspired by pirate John Lafitte. He was a French privateer from the late 1700s, and John Lafitte was known for his wit and charm while selling smuggled items. He was also a spy for Spain, which we can kind of see with the One Piece Lafitte, with his spy when he went to go meet at Merijois. Rumor had it that he changed his name after leaving Galveston, Texas, and disappeared, and that he rescued Napoleon before they both died in Louisiana. Now, as for the One Piece Lafitte, I think he could be using that cane like a sword too, and I bet that he has armament and observation hockey. We've seen him hypnotize people and spawn wings, so basically two main devil fruit theories arise from him. He's gonna either be the siren or maybe an angel. Personally, I prefer the image of sirens to be aquatic like mermaids, like in Sea of Thieves, but I don't know, in the Odyssey where they were originally depicted, they were depicted as like bird hybrids that could hypnotize people just with their voices. The sirens would have their siren song, and it would be irresistible, and it would lead sailors to their death as they would crash into the rocks and the sirens would eat them. Angels, as far as I understand, cannot hypnotize people like a siren, and they certainly wouldn't eat people. Whichever fruit it is, I would assume that Lafitte uses deception, and he leads his enemies into traps, because, he can hypnotize. So I'd expect some elaborate tricks on Lafitte's part here. So, now that we've introduced both sides, why do I think these two fight? What? Look at Brook. Now look at Lafitte. These guys are gonna fight. They're creeps. Like, who else are they going to fight? They both even have canes. Once I discovered that they were both from the West Blue, they have similar builds, skinny, and they both use canes, and they have manners, I decided to match the two up. That was all it really took. Furthermore, Lafitte's wings are quite interesting, so if he is an angel, then it would be the angel versus Lord Satan Brook. That would be a great foil. Additionally, if Lafitte really is the siren instead, then it would be the siren song versus Brook's music, which could also be a fun matchup. So these two just make sense. Like, this is one of the Straw Hat matchups that I feel more confident about. So visualizing this fight, what would it be like? I think they have a lot of potential to make this fight really cool. It would be cool to have sort of a flying sword fight. Lafitte has wings, so he could be swooping at Brook, like diving in and just flying around, moving really fast. Kind of like what King does, actually, now that I think about it. But he could be swooping at Brook, and while Brook's having to jump over obstacles, Brook could maybe even be running on the water, too, because we know that he can run on water. I think that would be the most badass way I could picture this fight, swooping while running on water. Having Brook's soul fight Lafitte would also be kind of cool, too, like the puppet masters from Naruto, like Kankuro or Sasori. That'd be interesting, but it would definitely be dangerous for Brook to leave his body out in the open like that. It would be cool to try to have Lafitte hypnotize Brook, but then Brook could make his soul leave his body, tricking Lafitte into thinking he was, put to sleep, but in reality his soul is out and about and he's going to get a sneak attack. I would also love if Lafitte attempted to do what classic sirens did and tried to lead the Thousand Sunny into rocks, bringing the Straw Hats to their deaths. I don't know what to expect from this fight, but I think it will be good, and I need it to be good, because we need a good 1v1 for our guy Brook, because he's really slept on, and I think that he's got a lot of potential here. But that's what we have here for Brook's 1v1. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe for more fun and games here, and let me know in the comments which Straw Hats that you want to see next. But until then, be sure to stay golden. Thanks for watching.